The stars are bright, we own the night. The stars are bright, we own. The stars are bright, we own the night. The stars are bright, we own. The stars.
Hi, I'm Takieyah Mathis. I advocate for mental health, psoriasis, HS, and eczema.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Speak questions. That's the first one. And 3. Wonderful.
All right.
So let the painting begin.
Okay.
Okay. So
Becoming an advocate helped me, or it changed me when it came to my healthcare, because having the conditions that I have, I didn't grow up with a mom that advocated, and it showed me that even when I was younger, I had a lot more that I could have asked or thought about myself. But because, as a teenage girl, you're just like, oh, my skin, and I don't want anybody looking at me, I don't want anybody picking on me. I just want whatever quick fix there is, and I didn't ask any questions. I just accepted whatever. So now I feel like it's changed me, because I go into the doctor's office with a list of things to ask, even if I've been through something already. I still think of like all the things that I could be asking, even if it's on somebody else's behalf, like with my social media presence. If someone's asking me something, I'm like, I really don't know the answer to that. But because I have a great rheumatologist, I will ask, and I will talk to a professional about this. And it also allowed me to have an open space with providers as well, to be courteous that sometimes they don't know everything, and sometimes they're learning from us. So that was a big part of how it changed me. It made me open my mind to like nobody's perfect, and this is a learning opportunity for everyone. And also now that I'm a mom, it made me like very strong on let me ask this for my kids. Let me make sure they have this. So again, so when they get older, they know. They've heard it when I'm in the office with them, or they will just know, like, hey, I can take care of this myself, because I know to ask this or speak up for myself and not just accept anything.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's funny that you say that, because there's a term that's used, but again, a lot of people don't really know what that is. So what you mentioned is like participatory medicine, and what it is a relationship with your health team in terms of, okay, here I was diagnosed with psoriasis. So is it just the healthcare team telling you what it's going to be, or is this also the patient being more active in terms of their diagnosis? So it really is a team effort.
Yes.
And you made a good point. Sometimes healthcare or the health team, they don't have all the answers, but it's still questions that need to be answered.
Yes, so, and they're only going to learn with experience themselves.
Exactly.
I could ensure that there are more people speaking out. I think that the fact that there are so many companies and organizations looking at and involving patients more now, I can assure you that there's going to be a bigger community within the next decade about a lot of things that, children in the 90s or 80s or 70s didn't get to talk about or learn about. There's people like with the National Psoriasis Foundation one of the founder, I mean, she was going through psoriasis stuff since like the early 60s and things like that. And um, again, I had never seen a psoriasis commercial until maybe 4 years ago.
It's true, because not to cut your thought, but I saw one recently, and I was like, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
HS, the
Yeah.
eczema commercials. I mean, who knew, with all those things evolving in our communities with social media and commercial and branding, that there would ever be these commercials, you know what I mean? Again, we know Polar Bear, Coca-Cola commercials and all of that stuff, but we never saw um, things like that for skin conditions or autoimmune conditions. And like I said, I guarantee within the next decade for the younger communities and things like that, that we will have a bigger impact because we're now taught to use our voice and advocate. So I think that that's what I can ensure, that we will have a better guarantee that we'll have maybe some support.
I believe that as well. I think for a lot of communities, but even
Yes.
more so, even more so.
I think that we have taught them, and what they can learn all in the same gist is that we need to be heard, for one. That there are more than just one way to do things.
Right.
And I think that they are slowly but surely catching on to all of that. That there should be options. Again, like I said, even with these commercials, when I first got offered treatment for psoriasis, um, I was put on a chemotherapy pill, and I was like, when my doctor told me, I was like, hold on, are you saying I have cancer or do I have psoriasis? So I was a little confused, like, what are you doing right now? Like, and so it taught them, like, after me going through the treatment, I was like, well, why didn't you offer me A, B, C, and D when it was already on the market? And she was like, well, it was already so severe. And I was like, well, I think we could have, done things a little bit differently. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I had just had a baby, and it was kind of scary to know, like, I'm going on a chemotherapy pill, one of the same chemotherapy pills that my grandmother was put on for breast cancer. Now I got to get my liver watched and things like that. So it was really scary at 29 years old to know that I was doing that.
Exactly.
Almost going through the same thing as a cancer patient. I didn't have cancer, and now after me and her have had a thorough conversation, she's very open to talking about options. So, like I said, I think that they'll understand, and they can be taught that there's more than one way, and to make sure that you're ensuring that your patient has all options, no matter what their insurance is,
Exactly.
what their zip code is, any of that stuff. I feel like talking more broadly with your patients is a big thing, and not to almost dim their light by not giving them those options and resources.
So it's funny because it's so disappointing that, as you mentioned before, sometimes they don't know everything. However, just the idea of not doing your due diligence as to try to find, the best options, it's scary.
Yeah.
And sometimes a lot of patients don't question, they just kind of do.
Yep.
So
I felt like I had one of their questions was always, well, do you want more kids? And I was like, well, yeah, I kind of do.
Yeah.
So why do I have to choose between this extreme medicine if I want to bear children?
Exactly.
And it was very scary because when I started the treatment, they told me that, oh, you're gonna lose a lot of fertility and this and that. A year later, I ended up getting pregnant. I lost a baby.
Oh,
and
no.
It was very detrimental to my mental health. And so some of the interviews that I did, I talk about, how it feels to advocate, and also or have this health condition and want to bear children, or how it feels to be a mom and have a chronic illness and stuff like that, because again, that type of stuff wasn't talked about.
And guess what? It still isn't. I think when we, if we delve a little deeper into other communities, it's kind of, I think sometimes the doctors or healthcare team, they react to getting the condition under control, and they forget the other aspects of life.
Yeah.
you know, like
we really shouldn't have to choose.
Exactly. And not only that, as you mentioned, give me the options. If this drug or treatment is going to do this.
Because if I would have said no, I don't want more kids, then
exactly,
y'all would have put me on still the harshest medicine that you could put me on. So I think that's one of the biggest things the hardest things that I've dealt with so far, having a chronic illness and dealing with providers and things like that, because now my mental health comes into play. Now I'm pregnant now, and that was a part of why I was high risk, because I was taking the medicine still when I got pregnant. And so, all of the things, if your baby's exposed, her limbs might not grow correctly, her brain may not grow correctly, all these stigmas and things like that. And so all this worrying for a whole 40 weeks, it's unnecessary.
It's unnecessary.
So.
Well, we appreciate you, girl. And I want you to continue doing what you do, because we need you in these spaces.
Yeah.
And we need that baby to come.
Yeah.
Don't let her come right now, though.
No.
Okay. So you done? That's beautiful.
Yeah. See my baby grow into this now 6-pound baby, because at first, when we got halfway through the pregnancy, it's like, well, she's not
growing.
She's not where she's supposed to be. She's only 3 pounds, and this and that. She has a small stomach, and all of these things. And I was like, well, what do we do? And I'm like, well, if she doesn't grow by 37 weeks, we'll have to take her out and stuff like that. And here I am, 41 weeks.
Girl, she's like, I'm not ready. I'm still
no,
baking,
I'm still
mama.
baking. I'm gonna prove these people wrong. So,
and she will.
Yeah. So it's a blessing to, like I said, I know everybody's been worried, but it's a blessing to be in this space and know that she's doing okay. Her brain looks great, and got all her toes, and she's wiggling around, all of that good stuff. So
I love that.
Yeah.
So hold up your piece of work, which is beautiful. And I want to thank you so much. You're my last art advocate, if you will.
Yes, I actually do have an art company with my husband.
Okay.
At the Mathis Art Gallery, and we formed this because of mental health aspects. He's a prior Marine in the infantry field, and we talk a lot about PTSD, not just from military, but real life experiences like health diagnostics.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, give her a plug. You're the last one.
Yeah, so
IG.
All things for my social media is under Itchy Goddess. It's spelled exactly how it's spelled. The Mathis Art Gallery. And Takieyah Mathis is Takieyah Mathis Mathis. All things. You'll find me.
Thank you.
Thank
We appreciate you.